Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Kimberly Knox and you're in KK's Fit Kitchen. So we're going to do another cookie recipe today. So yeah, I am a certified integrative health coach influenced by Dr. Andrew Weil years ago while I was still running another business. He's the father of integrative medicine and more currently and through school influenced by Dr. Mark Hyman and all his great work. And if you like the medical mediums recipes, definitely that. My cookbook called Simple Cooking for Vitality focuses just on that. Simple cooking for vitality. It's really the simple recipes, how food has energy and the healing potential of food. Because really, food is 90% of our health today. We're finding it. We really have the ability to shift all of our health just by what we put into our vessels to create vitality and energy from the cell level. So why am I making cookie recipes? And why I have a whole section in the back after I talk about the major meridians of snacks and goodies that are made with energy oils, so oils that are good for you, or energy fats and non-refined sugars and alternative flours, taking out the gluten, taking out the refined sugar. So listen, I've needed some more comfort food lately. We all go through things and we look to food to feel better. So we need alternatives that make us feel great, because that's what the food companies, big food, is hijacking our brain with chemicals that stimulate these neurotransmitters that mimic, the effects of opiates or nicotine. So we need stuff that makes us feel good, that we don't have to feel guilty about. Okay, delicious, not deprived. That's my motto. So we're making an amazing vanilla coconut thumbprint cookie, and it's going to have raspberry jam on the side. So your recipes, and it's all about the quality of the ingredients, right? Because your body knows exactly what's going in, especially your liver, which has to filter everything. And if it doesn't like something or notice it, it's going to put it somewhere. That's what it does with the chemicals. And it's overburdened today. So we're just using really simple almond flour, cassava flour, real good sprouted oats. We're using unsweetened shredded coconut, not the kind that we used to use when I was a kid. So I like this brand here. We're using maple syrup, vanilla, sea salt, and virgin organic coconut oil. So coconut oil with those MCT, those medium chain fats that help us to create energy, not slow us down. And there's no animal products in here too. The medical medium is, and several that people that are trying to get rid of inflammatory diseases, or they may have lupus, or they may have Epstein-Barr. You don't want to activate it with certain things, or you have gut issues. Okay, so we're going to everything that's yummy and going to feel great. All right, so first thing we're going to do is what I like to do is I like to buy the oats just like this. This is my favorite brand. Why? Because we know they're certified gluten-free. They're also sprouted. If you're going fully grain-free, then you're not going to want to do oats. But these have been the best that I could find. Now, so these are the ones that I do trust. So you're looking at carbs. Don't get crazy about carbs, but almond flour's got hardly any carbs. So when you make cookies with almond flour, you cut down that carbohydrate load. That just means, how does my body convert what I put into my body into sugar, which is, glucose stores. And so we're just going to put a whole cup. We're going to use 1 cup of oats, a cup of cassava flour, and 1.5 cups of almond flour. And I do like this KitchenAid food processor. And the reason is because a lot of them are kind of skinny and deep. This one's bigger, so you can get down in there. And I make several of the recipes in my book, including one of my top recipes to make you feel good called Hug in a Jar Chocolate Avocado Mousse. It's just amazing, filled with protein and energy. So I'm going to grind this up. You know that if you've watched before, I don't want to overburden you with the sound. So we're just going to let this process for about at least a minute or two until it's nice and fine. And that way you can use your oats for other things like overnight oats and things like that. Okay, so we'll be back. Let this. Okay, it's looking good. You want to have these little spatulas when you have your food processor. Another reason that I like breaking it down this way is because you're getting a little bit more texture than you would from straight up oat flour. And then you don't have to have one more flour in your storage containers, which I like to put them in these because they stack nice, keep everything nice and neat. You know, I'm a stickler for organization, just like everything stress-free. Okay, so that's in, and we're going to be measuring out 1.5 cups of the almond flour here. Let me get a knife so we can do this old school. One. So we've got 1.5 cups of super fine. I use Bob's Red Mill super fine almond flour. And next up is cassava flour. We just want 1 cup of this. The knife just helps to level this off nicely. All right. So this is a 1 bowl operation. So you don't have to do it like back when I used to make cookies, you would cream the butter with the sugar. You would add in the eggs, you would add in this, that, you'd have to sift the flour. None of that anymore. Okay. And so next up is we're going to be adding in 1/3 of a cup of maple syrup. So maple syrup, yes, it's sweet, but it is a more natural sweetener. It comes from sap inside of a tree. You boil it down. I used to make it in Vermont. And so your body recognizes the other nutrient qualities of maple syrup, just like dates, medjool dates that I add into my, oh my God, so good, I'm out of it. The chocolate vegan mousse, delicious. I'm not getting mousse. I mean, what did I say? The chocolate vegan gelato, which I love to pair with cookies. So I don't need to get it out anymore because I know what I put in it and it makes me feel great. I'm getting that rush of dopamine from the raw cacao. That's what you're looking for when we're looking for something sweet, right? And so, yeah, I used to make cookies all the time. And if you're looking for a hug or if you're going through a breakup, you're definitely going to want something good. But here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to fill your body up with junk because then you're going to feel even worse, more depressed, worse, guilty. You want to feel energized and you want the energy of your cells and your body to be as strong as possible to help you overcome tough times without sending your brain all of these, you know, bad messages. Okay. So we've got 3 teaspoons of Madagascar pure vanilla. Get the best kind. I'm just looking for the cover so I don't accidentally turn it over. Let's see where it is. Anyway, then a nice 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I have done this enough so that I can just measure that by hand. We've got a 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil here, and then we're going to get in the raw coconut flakes. So I love these. I add these into some of my energy balls, but you can make like a vegan chocolate macaroon. You don't have to use egg whites. I'm going to add in actually a cup instead of 3/4 of a cup is fine. I've made the recipe once and sometimes I end up editing it. All right, let me get a spoon. All right. So yeah, I still do. I don't use a mixer for my cookies. I like to do it by hand so you can feel it. So these Thumbprint cookies are going to be, you're going to have a stiff dough, and the dough we're going to turn into balls, and those balls we're going to dip our thumb into, and we're going to cook them, and then we're going to fill them with finest quality raspberry jam, and I'm going to sneak a little huge chocolate chunk in the center too. So use the back of your spoon to kind of cream the mixture. This is going to help you to mix it all up. Smelling really delicious. So yeah, so thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. If you like these little short videos, give them a little thumbs up, share them. If you want to know when a new one comes out right away, go ahead and subscribe. So I've done many different YouTube videos in my past. You can check out a lot of my old videos. But so I really just want to make these fun. Okay, so I'm going to tidy up a bit, and then we're going to come back. We're going to make them into balls, put them onto the pan. The oven's already at 350, and shabam, we're going to have cookies. Now, I keep my cookies in the freezer. Perfect. They stay fresh, amazing. You're not looking at them all the time. You're not going to eat the whole batch, right? So we'll be right back. Okay, so the dough's looking amazing. And all I did was use the back of my spoon, kind of cream it up. Now, this is perfect because you're getting a little bit of a workout. Now, this is where if you have kids, you get them wash their hands and just make a simple ball like this. I'll make the balls first, and then we'll do a little thumbprint on 3 of them. Try to make the balls around the same size so they cook evenly. So all you do is you sink your thumb in, pretty darn easy, right? Make a nice divot there so you can fill it with jam. And I'm actually going to fill the base when they come out with one of the huge chunks. So we'll have a chocolate raspberry in some of them. Perfect. So we're just going to continue making these into balls. Very easy. And then we're going to put them into the oven, 350 for 11 minutes. And then get the chocolate in there, let them cool a little bit. And I'll show you the jam that I prefer. You also want to choose high quality jam. Okay, so we'll be back when these are all done. Okay, they're in the oven. And yep, I was tasting some of the dough. It's delicious. That's part of the fun of making the cookies, right? You don't have to worry about any questionable eggs. And these kind of cookies, all right, this is what we're going to fill them with. I love this brand of raspberry filling. Also, you can make your own with just raspberries, some maple syrup, some chia seeds, a little bit of lemon. You can cook that down almost like a compote. Okay, but if you don't have that time, this is what I prefer. And it's because it's not sweetened with cane sugar. We're trying to get away from the refined sugars. Here it's sweetened only with grapes and fruit juices. So a little bit less. So this red raspberry I really do like. They also have some red raspberries that are just fruit as well. And then Hugh, getting back to human, these chocolate chunks, these are the delicious chunks. If you watch my video on making the my $1 million chocolate chip cookies, these are the chunks that I use in here, along with 100% raw cacao chips, which you can find. And so there's no lecithins, there's no cane sugar in here, just delicious raw chocolate. So when those cookies come out, we're going to dress them up and we're going to be done. Okay, so let's get these out of here. Fabulous. They're going to be light, lightly brown. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to stick nice chocolate, let that melt while they cool. That's what I love about these gems. They're nice big chunks. So they add a nice punch when you're putting them into your chocolate chip cookies. So we're going to let that settle into the bottom. We're going to let these cool, and then we're going to put a teaspoon of the jam and let them cool some more. Then we're going to add them to the freezer. So listen, guys, I was terrified to start cooking cookies a different way that I knew, because I used white flour, I used Crisco, I used margarine, I used butter. I mean, this is how we grew up, right? With refined sugar, refined brown sugar. So it took me a while to start baking different, but listen, these are a game changer on how you feel. So it's really worth it to do an alternative twist. So if you're going to use the jelly, this jam, this fruit spread, just use a spoon and dump a little in. If you make the spread and then you cool it, you can also put it into a Ziploc bag and cut a little hole and just squeeze it into all of them, or just do the same spooning. So it's a little flavor of love here. So we're just going to fill all of these, and your cookies are ready. And like I said, you store them in the freezer. That way, they stay really fresh. You're not going to see them. They're not going to get stale. They're going to be nice and firm. They'll soften up when you take them out. So I'm going to finish doing all these. Then we'll come back and sound off. Okay, let's do this. I already snuck a taste. Of course, I had to. And here's a little genius thing. If you're having a sweet tooth, also sweet tea, and not with sugar and regular tea. I'm talking about pressed teas like this. One of my favorites here is the Moat Beach tea. I started getting at the Ritz-Carlton in a press. They sell it at the Bean and Siesta Key, but it's got exotic fruits and herbs, apples, coconut, hibiscus, rose hip, naturally caffeine free. This is a perfect complement to, and I love these cookies chilled. So with some warm tea and a beautiful stowed teacup, and you've got a perfect little treat. So delicious. Okay, guys, check them out. You're gonna have fun making these, and and I'm gonna have fun eating some with my tea when you got that surprise of chocolate in there too. So that's really a great treat. Again, thanks for joining me in the kitchen. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. And I hope you try the recipe. You can look for more information down in the section below. Okay, bye guys.